Raider Nation, what is the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy Panama Fargo back to y'all live with another episode of the Raider Rundown. And today, man, we're gonna go over some of the notes from training camp day 3 of the Las Vegas Raiders, man. Very interesting stuff said by Vic Tafur, one of the beat writers, man. And we're gonna really deep dive into that. So without further ado, let's get this theme music rocking and let's get into it.
Young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
Raider Nation, what is the deal, man? Like I said, it's another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure you're tapping on the like and subscribe button. And please hit on the little notification bell so you get updated whenever I drop some of this content. But like I said, man, we're going to go over some of the day 3 training camp notes, right? And we're specifically going to go over some of the tweets from Vic Tafur, one of the beat writers there at training camp, right? Works very closely with the team. So I'm very interested to see what he has to say. So without further ado, let's go ahead, get into some of these tweets. Okay, now, when you're looking here, we share my screen with y'all. Boom. First tweet we're looking at. Another sloppy day. A lot of balls on the ground, but it's early, okay? And then he also comments underneath, Chase Garber still available? Question mark. Okay, so when you're seeing shit like that, right, let's start off by saying this. Jimmy Garoppolo did not practice today for the Las Vegas Raiders, but don't be alarmed. Don't be panicked, all right? So when we're saying he didn't practice, this is already something that the Raiders and Jimmy have agreed upon, saying that there are certain days of training camp that Jimmy is going to be taking off, probably for obvious health reasons, right? He's getting his foot back healed. So at the end of the day, and he has an injury history. So at the end of the day, these are things that the Raiders are doing to take, sort of recovery and preemptive measures to make sure that Jimmy G is all good for week 1. All right. So again, if you hear that Jimmy G didn't practice, don't panic. Okay. This is something that the Raiders and Jimmy G have already worked out between themselves. All right. So it's cool. But when you're looking at a tweet like this, okay, now knowing that Jimmy G ain't practicing, all we have out there is Aiden O'Connell, our 4th round pick, and Brian Hoyer, a vet in the league, seasoned vet, right? So we're really trying to see who's going to win that QB2 spot. And to hear this right here, like he said, it's early, and like I'm even saying, it's day 3. Let's not blow it super out of proportion, but to see that a lot of balls are on the ground, to see that it's a little sloppy right now when you're looking at, the cohesion between the quarterbacks and the receivers, it's a little bit disheartening. But at the end of the day, like he said, it's very early. I'm not going to take it super serious until next week on Tuesday, August 1st, which is when the Raiders start putting on the pads, right? That's when the live bullets start flying. So I'm not going to take anything super seriously until that. But, I do want to hear how they're doing. I also find it very interesting, and it's something that popped in my head. Although I don't talk about our former quarterback a lot, it's funny how always the training camp news always seem positive with that, right? And you got to think about it. It's a vet, somebody who, although we had many different schemes, right, although he did get comfortable in certain schemes. Now to see how these new quarterbacks who have never been with the Raiders, never had rapport with certain of these players, start to really get into the mold of really getting that comfortability, right? It's interesting to see that, right? We got to see how long it's going to take. Maybe it takes, Aiden O'Connell, his first preseason game. Maybe it doesn't. We have to see. And even with Jimmy G, he has to keep getting this repetition. So that's really where we're at. We're going from somebody who is a seasoned vet, although a lot of dysfunction, although had a lot of people around him that was used to being a certain way. Now we're trying to get that cohesion back. So it's interesting to see that. But the fact he put is Chase Garber still available, that shit scares me because I didn't think Chase Garber was all that good. I didn't think he was all that bad either, right? But, for them to have cut him and now Vic Tafur is saying this, it's a little funny. But let's go ahead. Let's move on to another one of Vic Tafur's tweets, okay? Now we're looking at this one right here, okay, 18 minutes ago. Defensive players and coaches take a lap around the field. Rob Ryan beats out one of the players. Okay, now we don't know what the context of, them taking a lap around the field is. Maybe they took a lap around the field because they weren't, practicing up to standard. Maybe they just took a lap around the field because at the end of the day, they're trying to get some extra work, and that's the whole unit's way of doing that, right? But I just want to say this. Whoever fucking loss to Rob Ryan, right, needs to be cut immediately. Like there's no fucking excuse for any of these players to be behind Rob fucking Ryan. And I mean that with all due respect, all right? That's bullshit. There's no fucking way that player should be allowed to fucking skate out of here without his name being blurted all over the fucking social media places, right? I think we need to know who that player is. But to see that the unit is running, right, again, we don't know the cause of the running. But, like I said, I like to keep it positive. So let's just say they're trying to get some extra work in. But at the end of the day, we are seeing that, maybe today wasn't the best of days. We're getting hints that today was not the best of day. And now, we're seeing the fruits of the labor from that. But at the end of the day, like I was saying, bro, it is early. So everything that we're hearing right now, let's not blow shit out of proportion, okay? They're still getting their feet wet at the end of the day. Some of these guys are getting back into football shape. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, this is where we need to be patient as fans as the training camp progresses, right? We're going to start seeing the true identity, the true nature of this team once, the pads start coming on, and then we start having the live scrimmage practices with the 49ers and shit. Like, once we start doing that, that's when the identity of this team and everything's going to start coming out in full force, right? That's what I'm excited for. And, of course, the preseason games, we get to see the depth, all that. But, I'm definitely excited for those things to start happening. So, as for right now, for everything that I'm hearing out of training camp right now, I'll take it with a grain of salt right now. And I hope that and we will see things get better as things progress, right? But positive news coming out there. I just want to touch on this real quick. We're seeing a lot of videos of the running backs going through drills, right? We're seeing a lot of, the drills that the running backs are going through where they're showing their feet quickness and shit like that. I like the way Zamir White looks. All right, now some of y'all have been watching what the Raiders have been posting and some of the beat writers have been posting out of training camp with some of the drills, right? When you see him, his feet look quick. He definitely looks bigger, right? Zamir White definitely looks like he gained a few pounds of muscle. All right, he gained a few pounds of muscle. Feet look quick, right? He looks ready to go. I'm very excited to see once the pads come on how he starts, asserting himself in this offense, especially with Josh out, right? How will he create a lane for himself to get more touches this season? Because let's keep it a beam. If Josh comes back, regardless if it be week 1 training camp, right, he's going to be getting touches. Now, Mo Martin says something that's very interesting on his Twitter the other day. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes Jacobs to get into football shape if he does show up week 1, right? Because if he shows up week 1 without no type of, playing experience from training camp, shit like that, he's got to get back into game shape, and he's going to be having to get into game shape with live bullets flying. All right, so that's going to be the real tell. But for Zamir, I'm very excited. I want to see what he can do. I really do. I honestly think that this guy, has the ability to surprise some people. I really do. So once preseason and everything starts going underway, man, I think we're going to see this guy at full force for real. So like I said, that's just some of the notes coming out of there, man. I'm going to be talking more about what's going on when I get some more updates. We definitely got to hear what the players say, while they're in their interviews. So I'm probably going to be making a video about that a little later, if not now, tomorrow, right? But make sure you stay tuned for that. If anything, man, please keep hitting the like, keep hitting the subscribe button, man. I really appreciate everybody that pulled up to the live yesterday, man. And y'all let me know down below if y'all want me to keep doing lives every Thursday. Let me know, because it's something I'm really entertaining. But, if it's something y'all not going to be interested in, I don't want to do it. But if it's something y'all going to pull up, we have some real Raider talk. We have some people on there. We have some special guests, you know what I mean? And just, we keep it cracking like that. So y'all let me know if that's something y'all be interested in. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this video and the notes y'all feel about training camp, man. And remember, always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.